Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finest thing to hit the internet since Farmers Only. I am your polymorphous, perverse announcer, Bo Von Fingerman, and I'm joined by special guests, Shania and Mark Twain.
All right, dirtbag, who's holding?
Bro, I don't know if I'm up for it today. I got a bunion the size of a bin wall ball.
Oh, suck it up, Mark. You want health care? Get it off the dark web like every red-blooded American.
And now, dear lowlives, please give an impoverished hello to your fat host. He's got all the sexual appeal of the executioner from that movie about the hot Greek boys. It's Ball Barnacle Bradford!
The water out of the tap is very hard to drink.
Shut up! Shut up! Everybody piss off!
Barry, your gut is looking very shapely today. I'm psyched.
Bangarang, Barry! You're like a bona fide Hugh Snackman.
Barry, which certified banger we gonna cover today? Maybe Fargo?
Where's Pancake's house?
Ooh, or what about Training Day?
You never know.
Let's do Interstellar.
Don't let me leave, Murph. Don't let me leave, Murph.
We're too poor to do another certified banger. Today's movie's gonna be John Frankenheimer's cursed monkey dump of a movie from 1996.
Sweet diabetic God in heaven. Don't say it, Barry.
No!
No fucking way!
Barry, no!
Shut up, asswipes! We were born to suffer, and suffer we shall. It's the island of Dr. Moreau. It's not like we have a choice. Our viewers demand it.
Tell him about the production, you sloppy bitch.
Well, the first thing to bear in mind is that much like War of the Worlds, this is one of them book movies. The original War of the Worlds story was written by H.G. Wells, who published The Island of Dr. Moreau in novel form in 1896. Much like the stupid-ass version we're about to review, Wells's original story deals with questions of scientific ethics, especially in light of Darwin's rather innovative theory of evolution. And the Wells version also deals allegorically with such issues as the godlike posture of science, the dehumanizing potential of colonization, and the creation of human-animal hybrids. Though in the Wells version, the beast folk are the result of experimentation with vivisection, rather than genetic tampering.
Yeah, nice line reading there, Sam Worthington. Sounds real natural.
Now, there's actually a fairly lengthy history of filmic versions, beginning with The Island of Lost Souls from 1932, which featured Bela Lugosi. Then we got a version from 1977 titled The Island of Dr. Moreau, which had Burt Lancaster.
Yeah, nobody cares about them dusty old shits, Barry. Just cut to the sucky chase.
Okay, so fast forward to the mid-90s, and New Line Cinema decides they'd like to lose some big money on a crappy sci-fi property. So they sign on this quirky, cool, up-and-coming director, Richard Stanley, who's into witchcraft and also happens to be a big fan of the original H.G. Wells novel. Then New Line secures none other than goddamn fat Marlon Brando to play Dr. Moreau, which opens the door for the great Bruce Willis to take the lead role of Douglas, with James Woods playing the assistant character Montgomery. But allegedly, Bruce Willis drops out due to marital difficulties and an inevitable divorce from his then-wife, Demi Moore.
I bet he just wanted to make sure he got into that goddamn Armageddon movie from '98.
So, Val Kilmer is brought in to replace Willis. But Kilmer doesn't want a demanding role, so he insists on taking the Montgomery role, which means they gotta get rid of Dirty Jimmy Woods.
And they pull in Rob Moreau from Northern Exposure to play the part that James Woods was gonna play, but eventually he freaks out and leaves the project, so they bring in David Thewlis.
And to make matters worse, before Fat Marlon can even arrive on set, his daughter, she engages in self-deletion.
Which kind of puts a damper on things.
Plus, they trying to film this shit show in Cairns, Australia, which is known for two things: wicked rainfall and deadly-ass spider bites.
Yeah, and because this goddamn movie is cursed, the set gets hit by a hurricane on like the first day of shooting, and by day 4 of shooting, the somewhat green director, Richard Stanley, gets sacked by the studio because production is such a wreck, and a blood sacrifice to the studio gods must be paid. So they bring in that shit-ass John Frankenheimer to replace poor Richard.
And instead of leaving Australia, Richard Stanley has a mental breakdown and stays in Cairns for the rest of production. In fact, he ends up sneaking back onto the production lot disguised as a dog man and even makes it into some of the final shots, and I'm not making any of this up.
You gotta watch that documentary, folks.
Yeah, and while he's on set in Cairns, Val Kilmer, who has just finished shooting Batman Forever, learns that his hot wife, Joanne Whalley, is divorcing him. So he's good and pissed off.
This story's so sad it makes my long balls ache. Those two met on the set of that Willow movie. It should have been true, everlasting love, goddammit.
Ah, shut up, asswipe. It's not that sad. He's still got to bang Joanne Whalley for several years. And the saddest outcome is to have never banged her at all. Now listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend that everyone should watch the documentary on the making of this shit biscuit of a rat fuck of a gooch stomp that constitutes this stupid movie. It's called Lost Soul, The Doomed Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau, and it came out in 2014.
Jesus Christ! That title is even longer than my prolapsed aim.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, you could argue that it's probably a little biased in favor of Richard Stanley, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Bro, let's face it, the documentary is 10 times more enjoyable than the movie itself.
Plus, it involves witchcraft. And I'm not doing a bit. Richard Stanley is some kind of Wiccan.
Link in description. Hopefully. Asswipes.
Barry, tell him about the story, you buttermilk bitch.
Yeah, so we open with Edward Douglas and friends who have survived a plane crash somewhere in the South Pacific.
No, the letters, they never got much more specific.
So say goodbye. Bye, Mrs. Sullivan.
Brr, coyote. But see, they've got only one remaining bottle of Fiji water, so they play a game of American gladiators to see who gets to rinse his gooch. And the winner is Mr. Douglas Diggler, who's played by David Thewlis.
I recognize this guy. He played the little art weasel in Lebowski.
Well, he also played King Peckerwood in Dragonheart.
He played Remus in Harry Potter, you chuds.
Shut up! David Thewlis has been in like a million movies, and we all know he's legit. So Douglas is rescued by Val Kilmer's Montgomery, who doctors him back to health.
Well, I'm more like a vet.
Barry, what's up with Montgomery's armband? This boy got bursitis or something?
Yeah, see, the armband is allegedly one of the many arbitrary character affects that Kilmer insisted upon, for no apparent reason other than he wanted to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so Montgomery delivers Douglas's white ass to a mysterious tropical island.
Ooh, a secluded island run by an ultra-wealthy eccentric type. What, did Moreau buy it off a Mossad operative or something?
Whoa, Nelly! Hey, I wonder why the asswipes in power are so flaky when it comes to the Moreau files.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I just have no idea, Barry. Whatever could the reason be?
Brr, the world is an unspeakably disgusting place.
Not like today.
Not like today.
No, we're not doing that. It's not even appropriate in this context, dipshits. Yeah, so Mr. Douglas runs into our good friend Fairuza Balk, whom you might remember from our breakdown of Return to Oz. Yeah, wrong goddamn clip, Ellis. Get it right.
Now I know we're in Oz.
Yeah, so in Island of Dr. Moreau, Fairuza Balk plays Aissa, one of Moreau's kiddos.
She's a pussycat.
The whole scheme here is that Dr. Moreau is a former Nobel Prize-winning scientist who's trying to create a sort of utopia away from the prying eyes of those woke maniacs who think it's bad for animals to suffer nightmarish medical experiments.
Got so bad you couldn't cage a rat without reading him his rights.
Anyway, old Dougie goes for a stroll around the compound to investigate. And apparently he takes offense at the idea of a llama lady giving birth to whatever the hell this is.
Woo! Hot, heavenly Christ! Llama Lady is pure fire. Uncle Bovon is sailing with a full mast, Barry.
Next, we get a nonsensical chase through the jungle, and it becomes clear that there's a goddamn community of hideous beast folk who are overseen by the good doctor.
Barry.
Including a bunch of thirsty pig ladies and dog men and some kind of goat fella who delivers sizzling sermons to the fucking jungle.
Played by none other than Hellboy himself, Mr. Ron Perlman.
Barry, you told me I should excuse myself if I get too excited.
But Jesus side-saddling Christ. Thanks for adding to our legitimacy there, Bovon.
Goddamn filthy old buzzard.
This is also where we get the big, fat revelation of Moreau himself.
I can't tolerate the sun.
It's one of them slow reveal kind of stories. And eventually Douglas gets to sit down with the whole family of dog children and, this little guy.
Yeah, and this is one of them goofy-ass households where you gotta recite poetry before you eat.
Slouches towards Bethlehem to be born.
But that's a pretty ham-fisted reference to the Second Coming by William Butler Yeats, a poem that indicates the onset of a new and potentially terrifying social order with biblical implications. Anyway, Douglas isn't buying Moreau's little spiel.
Look at him!
And the very next day, Lomai, one of the animal folks, is on trial for going full RFK Jr. on this,
Poor little rabbit.
Yeah, but why is he in trouble? Lomai looks like some kind of predatory cat. What are they feeding him if not meat?
Listen, the good doctor's been feeding him a nourishing diet of Huel. Let's not get lost in the goddamn weeds. So anyway, we should probably mention that Moreau has surgically implanted shock devices on all of the beast folk, and that's how he keeps their shit asses in line.
Oh, so it's kind of like a Clockwork Orange. Moreau's torturing them in order to condition their behavior?
Shut up! So Lomai the Catman gets shot by Azazello, one of the Moreau children, who's played by none other than Temuera Morrison, whom you might remember from those shitty Star Wars prequels.
Holy shit! You telling me that's the same guy?
But this little hyena-asswipe doesn't take too kindly to the gunplay. After investigating Lomai's remains, Hyena Man discovers the truth of Moreau's shock devices and figures out that with a little surgery, he can get rid of the old Neuralink.
Pain no more.
And the rest of the movie is pretty goddamn predictable.
Yo, is it just me or did one of those shitty Jurassic Park movies steal this idea?
Yeah, so much like Frankenstein's monster, the beast folk have figured out how to overthrow their creator. And they proceed to bite the piss out of Moreau, use his skull as a glory hole or whatever, and take over the island.
Woo! Get you some, beast folk. Time to open up a Buc-ee's, baby!
Meanwhile, instead of mounting a serious resistance, Montgomery here chooses to spend the rest of his time in the movie doing this batshit impression of Marlon Brando.
Though I give my body to be burned and have vitality.
I mean, until Azazello and Hyena Man blast his nuts off.
Ted, what the fuck, man?
And if you thought the romantic chemistry between Douglas and Asa would pay off, you'd be fucking wrong.
That's right. So, the beast folk have figured out how to...
Time to get paid.
Pop quiz, gang. What is that intoxicating odor wafting from the dirty kitchen of your rundown apartment? Friends and lovers, it's time to hit that vape and summon your alcoholic live-in partner, as well as whatever illegitimate kiddos you've got lying around. Say hello to the rotisserie from our good friends at Smegman's.
Sweet dirty Christ! You know, every time I think we've hit rock bottom, Bovon finds a way to make it worse.
Hot rats! Get your hot rats here! Thanks to the rotisserie, you and your whole family of ugly, illiterate homunculi can cook up to 5 pounds of meaty, wild-caught rats in a single go.
This is a rat burger.
Let's turn that frown upside down, beloved viewer. Your disgusting hovel is not infested with a nuisance species. No, sir. It's infested with flavor. Now is your chance to wow your unemployed neighbors with delicious chopped rat sandwiches, hearty rat stews and rat kebabs, or grind them up for a crowd-pleasing buffalo rat dip. Order today, you gap-toothed shitheels, and I'll even send you my prize-winning recipe for Bovon's 6-alarm rat chili.
Look, if you want me to, I can whip you up one. This is good eating rats.
Barry, make him stop!
It'll cure your constipation permanently. You'll be passing blood for weeks, my lovelies.
It's times like these I'm grateful that flies only live a couple of weeks. Okay, folks, the promo code is RATastrophe.
Game on. Sweet syphilitic God in heaven, this is our worst episode yet. Okay, so the beast folk have figured out how to use guns, aka the fire that kills. And apparently they're also working on their learner's permits.
Just wait till they discover Pornhub.
Speaking of porn, we do get this very erotic showdown at the compound, where Douglas convinces Hyena Man that he needs to establish himself as the one true Beast King.
Who is God number 1?
Yeah, so Hyena Man guns down his buddies, but then he gets bushwhacked himself, and he chooses to die horribly in the death place of his father because...
Yeah, because of Freud. And colonialism.
And that's pretty much the story. Doug Diggler escapes the island, and the film closes with a pretty obvious observation about the savage, bestial nature of the human heart.
As unstable as anything Moreau created.
Well, Barry, why come I'm having that thing where, you know, the movie ends, and I don't really give a shit?
Yeah, I noticed the same thing.
Yeah, bro, why don't we give a shit? Give us the analysis.
Brr! The reason we don't give a shiny shit is that these characters stink even worse than the cabbage farts that Marlon Brando allegedly unleashed in order to troll Val Kilmer during the filming of this abomination. There's no reason at all for us to root in favor of Douglas, who demonstrates no charisma, not to mention he brutally murdered his derelict shipmates and seems completely unbothered by it. But the whole attraction to Fairuza Balk's kitty cat character goes nowhere because she suffers an unceremonious death, and again, no one seems to care. Meanwhile, we got Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando locked in a life-or-death contest to see who can be the biggest asshole. Much of Kilmer's performance is just downright puzzling.
Not without this, you don't.
And he spends about half the movie doing this weird-ass Marlon Brando impression.
To be fair, Barry, that's a pretty good-ass impression.
Yeah, Barry. Fucking snob.
Yeah, but what does it add up to? Maybe Montgomery is supposed to be losing his mind. Maybe he wants to become the new father and function as a surrogate Moreau. I honestly have no fucking clue. Kilmer seems more interested in amusing himself than constructing an actual character. And we could say the same about Brando. See this bullshit scene where he straps an ice bucket to his bald-ass head? This was Brando's idea. He insisted on it.
Yeah, and apparently he wanted it to be revealed that the Moreau character was a dolphin hybrid, and there was a very sexy blowhole hidden under his many hats. You've got to admit that blowhole's pretty hot, right?
Piss off, Bovon!
Well, Marlon Brando is also responsible for getting Nelson De La Rosa retconned into a bunch of additional scenes as little Magi here.
Which meant that poor Marco Hofschneider here got fewer speaking parts than he'd bargained for.
Yeah, Barry, but you gotta admit the whole Moreau Magi doubling thing is pretty memorable. Bro, just look at this shit.
Yeah, Barry! And this sexy little number went on to hold a pretty strong influence over comedic properties for years to come. I mean, without this movie, we'd never get this iconic South Park character.
What the hell are you supposed to be anyway?
And we wouldn't get this Mike Myers shtick that was so popular back in the day and that now everyone tries to pretend they never liked. It's also worth noting that the original H.G. Wells version of the story was published 1 year prior to Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, which also explores the theme of colonization. In fact, Wells was convinced that Conrad had constructed his Colonel Kurtz character from Wells' Moreau character, and this bit of dissonance ruined their friendship almost as badly as Barry ruined his finances.
Yeah, and apparently the connection to Kurtz was a big part of why Brando agreed to do the Moreau movie in the first place. For those of you asswipes who don't already know, Brando also played Kurtz in Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. And there seems to be some evidence that although Brando was a supremely gifted actor, he was also, he might have been pretty gross.
Yeah, but Natasha Lyonne here worked on The Brand's last movie shoot, which was the highly esteemed Scary Movie 2. Brando's part was never completed because he was so sickly, but apparently he was still pretty well hornified.
Marlon Brando, who doesn't have long to live, has his hand on your breast.
For like hours, you know what I mean?
And now he's dead.
Yeah, and now he's dead, along with Val Kilmer.
John Frankenheimer's dead too.
And Nelson De La Rosa.
And Daniel Rigney, who played the hyena swine guy.
Everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead.
What about Fairuza Balk?
Well, she's alive, but her career is deader than Jeffrey Epstein's 4chan account. Okay, let's hear from Al. Maybe he can help us make sense of this goddamn toilet fire of a movie.
Ah, yes. The Island of Dr. Moreau. Not merely a grotesque tale of science gone awry, but a cumbersome parable about modern man's delusional quest for control and mastery over nature. Beneath the oppressive heat and humidity of Frankenheimer's 1996 adaptation lies a spiritual sickness. Dr. Moreau, a self-ordained god in a lab coat, does not merely tinker with biology. On the contrary, he uses science to reinscribe the logic of colonialism.
Well, the Dutch were the first whites to settle the island in 1890.
Deep within the back rooms of Moreau's fat-shrouded heart exists a Kurtz-like urge to subjugate, conquer, remap and possess all that falls within his rapacious gaze. Much like H.G. Wells' original tale, this story is not truly about evolution, but avarice and hubris masquerading as enlightenment. For what is man, if not a beast, who has disavowed his primal heart? The creatures who inhabit Moreau's island are grotesque, not because they are failures, but because they mirror the very contradictions within the human soul. They are caught, as are we all, in that liminal zone between instinct and law, that great yawning chasm that stands between hot-blooded desire and the cold shackles of so-called human civilization. Dr. Moreau's remote shock devices, those crude enforcers of hierarchy, do not merely torment the flesh of Moreau's subjects. Rather, they chain his identity to that of the gelatinous master who is inevitably despised by his beleaguered subordinates. And yet identity, especially the human variety, is far more tenuous than we care to admit. Madness, after all, does not indicate a break from reality, but the realization that the masks we wear, be they human, divine, or ex-presidential, were never meant to conceal a stable and coherent underlying identity. On the contrary, the mask conceals the fact that no such coherency ever existed. And so, predictably enough, Moreau's system collapses, as all artificial constructs eventually do. When the asswipe master's whip cracks and no longer commands fear, we, like the beast folk, are left not with open-hearted salvation, but with radical, abject freedom, and the terrifying question of what is to be done with it. Sweet Christ, what a dreadful movie. On a personal note, Barry, I'd just like to point out that you would have made an exemplary pigman.
Smug little spectral asswipe. Anyway, one thing we all gotta admit is that John Frankenheimer's Island of Dr. Moreau is a pretty remarkable movie. The cinematography is top shelf, the special effects are on point, the cast is extremely capable. And yet, this movie could still suck the ass right out of a coked-up gorilla.
Well, I, for one, Think they should have gone along with Brando's blowhole idea? Just imagine the bavometer readings we'd get if that made it into the movie.
Yeah, degenerate shit-ass. Anyway, the characters suck and the pacing is goddamn bizarre. For instance, why do we transition instantly from midnight to daylight during the chase scene? Nevertheless, it is still possible to enjoy this movie, especially if you're aware of the unfathomable disasters that surrounded its production.
We ain't gonna make no sizzle reel for Marlon Brando, because it sounds like, let's just say it sounds like maybe he would have gotten along just fine with Creepmaster Jeff.
Val Kilmer, on the other hand, was an asshole with an enormous ego, but he wasn't nearly as gross as Brando. And there's no denying that he was a tremendous talent who actually had pretty impressive range, so here are some of the Kilmer roles we'd like to salute.
Yeah, and don't expect us to identify exactly which movies these are. If you don't recognize them, that's a moral failing on your part.
That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
Open your eyes and the... Trolls.
Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Why didn't you tell me you knew? You did not ask.
This planet.
Original oxygen supply is low.
Put in one bullet, didn't I?
You put a live round in that gun.
Oh, yeah. There was like an 8% chance. Wasn't it just 8?
8?
Yeah.
Who taught you math?
Okay, that's all we got for now, folks. Tune in next time. We're gonna make cocktails from a bunch of those dollar store glow sticks. And then we're gonna live stream 14 hours of 1990s butt rock.
Space Lord, motherfucker!
Oh, fuck yes!
And then Marco's gonna attempt to keister a glass unicycle. It's gonna be a great one, folks. You gotta see it to believe it. But you're still a bunch of shit asses.
Now, Pigberry, I want you to tell me the truth. Did you slaughter Goatman Ephraim and then eat him in a single sitting?
Well, it wasn't me. I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't know any Goatmen.
Pigberry! Tell me the truth.
Look, I bet it was, Marco Shaco or somebody.
Nah, bitch. Don't even try to hang this one on me. Everybody knows I eat stingrays and shit. What I want was some dank-ass goat.
You were warned, Pigberry.
Ah, shit ass.
Bang-a-rang.
Hey, how come Marco Shaco never gets shot?
Because I didn't eat any of the goat men, asshole.
Yeah, plus you're the only beast person who has a microchip, Pigberry.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Ah, that's why.
To be honest, brah, it's just fun. Relieves me of my stress, you know?
Hey, jazz him one time for me, Flyfather.
Bang-a-rang!
Brah, take it easy, goddammit. Old Pigberry's got a belly full of goat. But I sure could use a winter coat.
Yeah, real smooth talking there, Walton Hoggins.
Yo, Flyfather, how about after this we go down to the reef and chat up some of them hot mermaids? What you giggling at, Jerry Swinefeld? You got a corny joke from the 90s to lay on us?
I ate the mermaids long before I ate the goat man, asswipes.
Pigberry!
Oh, you sick, bacon-reeking son of a...
Bleep, bleep, bleep. Shit ass. No.
Oh, it hurts, Barry.
No, sweet
We
Christ.
thought it was just gas, Barry.
Oh, shit.
Where's my Barry?
Make him stop.
Barry, we are sinners in the hands, Barry.
No, please, God, shut him up. I don't want to know.
Someone bring the goddamn butter.
It has gone too far, and I will issue a restraining order in time.
I got a big load in the chamber, Barry, and it wants out.
No, don't let him say my goddamn name.
Feels like I'm pushing out a fucking chandelier.
No, not mine.
Ah, Barry.
Put it back.
You're a daddy now, Barry. No more fooling around.
No, that's absolutely impossible. No,
a miracle
no,
of
sir.
science, Barry.
Kind of looks like Marco. I have never even shaken hands with you, Bovine.
It's definitely yours, Barry. Got your eyes and everything.
Daddy. Daddy shit ass. Ah, the horror. The horror.
Where you going, Barry? Let's name him after Marco.
Esther S.Y. Mary ain't paying child support.
We regret to inform you the Navy is keeping your sons away.
You're an errand boy, sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill.
Aruba, Jamaica. Girl, I want to take you to Key Largo, Montego.
Are my methods